Welcome and thank you for coming. I'm Felicia Norwood and I am the principal of Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School. Will you please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue Color Guard. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Let's give a big hand to Charlotte Booth for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Charlotte, will you please stand? She is a Prince William County student. And an appreciation for the color guard. To open our program this evening, our singing sea lions will perform 2 songs under the direction of our music teacher, Miss Alyssa Bornshine. I thank our student vocalists for a fine performance and for getting us off to such a great start this evening. We are here today to dedicate a wonderful new school to educate our students and to honor the memory of fallen firefighter Kyle R. Wilson, who inspires us all with his service and his sacrifice. I hope everyone will forgive my breach of protocol by first introducing the family of our school's namesake. Please welcome Kyle Wilson's parents, Sue and Bill Wilson. Kyle's brother, Chris, and sister, Kelly Gray. And will all the members of Kyle's extended family please stand to be recognized? We will hear from Kyle's sister Kelly a little later on. I am honored to introduce our other special guests who are with us this evening, including State Senator Scott Sorovell, 34th District, State Delegate Scott Lingamfelter, 31st District, from our Prince William County School Board, please welcome Mr. Ryan Sawyers, our school board chairman. School Board Vice Chairman, Ms. Lily Jesse, who represents the Occoquan District. Mr. William Deutsch, Coles District. Mrs. Diane Ralston, Neabsco District. Mrs. Allison Satterwhite, Gainesville District. Also joining us are members of the Board of County Supervisors, including Chairman Corey Stewart, Supervisor Ruth Anderson, Occoquan District, Supervisor Maureen Cadigan, Potomac, Supervisor John Jenkins, Neabsco District. Supervisor Martin Noe, Coles District. Supervisor Frank Principe, Woodbridge District. Also, Acting County Executive Christopher Martino. Representing Congressman Jerry Connolly, we also welcome Ms. Brianna Sewell. Congressman Connolly sends his congratulations and regrets that he is unable to be here due to a recent death in his family. From our school division, Superintendent Dr. Stephen Waltz, and Deputy Superintendent Ms. Ray Darlington. From the Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue, Chief Kevin McGee. Deputy Chief Tim Keene. Assistant Chief Lance McClintock. Assistant Chief Jim Fargo. Assistant Chief Matt Smolsky. And Battalion Chief Kurt Heinrichs. We also welcome from the Manassas City Department of Fire and Rescue Chief Rob Clemens. From Manassas Park Fire Department Chief David Dixon. Assistant Chief James Soper, and Fire Marshal Mark Joyner. Also from Arlington County Fire Department Battalion Chief Rick Genist. Prince William County Chief of Police Barry Bernard. There is clearly a large contingent of firefighters who are here to honor Kyle. Will firefighters and other first responders please stand and be recognized? I ask members of the superintendent's staff to please stand as a group and be recognized. Okay, and we would like to also recognize Mary Beth Micus, of former chief. All right. I asked, seated with our guests is my assistant principal, Mrs. Gretchen Drafutsky. Our guests also include former school board chair Lucy Beecham and former school board members Ms. Betty Covington and Mr. John Hopper. And retired Prince William County Fire Chief, that's okay, we can do it twice. Retired Prince William County Fire Chief Mary Beth Mikos. Again. All right. Are there other former school board or county supervisors here that we did not recognize? Additional guests include business partners and members from SPARK, the Prince William County Public Schools Education Foundation. Will those who are here from SPARK and those representing business partners please stand and be recognized? I am also pleased to welcome Mr. Tim Martin from Mosley Architects and Roy and Keely Pavone from VF Pavone Construction, who are responsible for the creation of this marvelous school. And our amazing school division facilities and construction staff, especially John Winley, Dee Thompson, John Mills, James Hoover, and Donald Miller. Thanks to each and every one of you for being here on this special day for our school, our community, and our students. Again, this is both an opening of our school and a salute to a young man who was an inspiration to all who knew him. His character, service, and accomplishments will be incorporated into the culture of this school. It will be an honor to carry on his legacy. Before we begin, we would like you to know more about Kyle as told by those who knew him.
Growing up, he was active. We were all active. We rode bikes till it was dinner time. We found the shortcuts in the neighborhood. We went sledding in our backyard. We had a pool, so we were swimming all the time, always outside, always doing something, whether it was on the ball field or trying out a different sport, but primarily usually on the ball field. All of us played. I played softball, the boys played baseball. When Kyle was younger, and I was obviously younger than him, I would get together with a lot of the other young girls and we would be their cheerleaders at their games. And as he got older, I continued to be his cheerleader because he was so great. He was so dedicated. Kyle always had a protective side to him. Me being his little sister, of course, he was very protective of me, but even his friends and his family members, protective of them. He wanted to make sure that they were safe and that they were okay at all times. And if they weren't, he was going to do something about it. He went to school for athletic training and he finished his degree and was volunteering and doing some internships, and I remember him saying, I need more. I think he just wanted more action. When Kyle found firefighting, it was truly like he was a different person. He was truly the happiest I had ever seen him. It was the energy and even the camaraderie and the competitiveness of wanting to be the first on the fire scene and wanting to be the best in his class. And it was the perfect amount of professionalism and caring for others, dedication and athleticism that we knew it was a perfect fit for him. Growing up, you see firefighters and you hear the fire trucks, and you never really understand the sacrifices that they make or the work that they put in. Seeing him again be so dedicated and so committed and so passionate about something, I thought to myself, I hope I can find that when I get his age, because he truly loved every minute of it. The friendships that he built, the brotherhood, truly made him love his job. And I think we all knew that he was in the right place. So knowing that, it gives us a little bit of solace, knowing that although he's gone, we knew he was doing what he was supposed to. I remember hearing that the winds were extremely fierce that morning, and I remember also learning that he had to be at work at 6, and I believe the call came in within a couple minutes after 6 o'clock. He wanted to be the first in the house, and wanting to save people that he thought were trapped speaks volumes of his character. I don't think that Kyle had any bit of fear. I think that there's a job to be done, and he knew he had to do it.
He was a dedicated and hardworking member of the Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue. He epitomizes everything that we would want our youth to grow up to be like. There's no better way to immortalize Kyle's life and his legacy than to name a school in his honor.
We need to model who Kyle was, that more students need to strive to be like my brother, to be that student who things don't come easy, but with hard work and dedication and commitment, things can work out.
As you can see, Kyle Wilson was a remarkable young man. To make this event all the more special, it is my honor to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Stephen Waltz.
Thank you, Mrs. Norwood, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to this very special event. I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate the opening of the school. Again, I would like to really thank the students who did the singing. You did a great job. I mean, it's hard to pull together. So when the school isn't even open yet and you pull kids in the summer with all the different things they're involved with, and to sound that good, that's very impressive. And kudos to the teacher as well and the soloist. I will just tell you, I know how difficult that piece is, and it has a very wide range, and you really did it justice, so excellent job as well. I'm sure that you will agree that the video about Kyle was both heartwarming and heartbreaking. Every day, first responders like Kyle put their lives on the line for their communities. He made a courageous decision, and he paid the ultimate price. He will forever be known for that. Across Prince William County and elsewhere, there are firefighters like Kyle and other first responders, many of them, in fact, volunteers, and we are grateful to each and every one of you who are here and each and every one of them who are on duty somewhere for helping us to be safe today. We're grateful, and we thank you for your dedicated service. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson and family members, please know that we are thrilled to be doing this for your son in his honor. And to your extended family, we want you to know that you're more than welcome to show up here on the first day of school if you want to see another round of real excitement. And we heard that Kyle liked excitement. His sister talked about that. It'll be a big day of celebration. Kids get really excited about that first day of school. So you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like to come by. Kyle will be an inspiration to every student. There are wonderful ways to remember him, and as you walk through the school, as I did earlier today, you'll be able to see many of the remembrances and special things that are around the building that will serve as that inspiration for our students. I want to take a few moments to talk about the challenges of keeping up with growth in Prince William County. I started my 12th year as school superintendent July 1st, and I'm proud to say that we're opening the 22nd school since I came in 2005. And every one of those schools has opened on time and within budget, which is amazing. And one of the reasons that happens is because of the cooperation of so many community leaders who work together. And there's lots of those people here today, here to celebrate that with you. So it's a school board, it's a board of supervisors, it's elected officials at the state level and the federal level, all work together, and they each play very unique yet pivotal parts in making a school like Kyle Wilson Elementary a reality. I want to thank Delegate Lingenfelter and the entire Prince William delegation for their commitment to public education, for your ongoing support, and for the delegation's ongoing support. You would be amazed at how they stick together in Richmond to fight for schools, and we appreciate what you're doing. I would like, yes. And Chairman Stewart, if you would please be so kind as to convey to the entire Board of County Supervisors our appreciation for what it does each and every year with setting the tax rate, and those things are sometimes challenging and sometimes difficult. But again, we have a budget. We've weathered some very difficult budget sessions, and I would just like you to let the rest of the supervisors know who aren't here how much we appreciate their work and their contributions. This school is a state-of-the-art, but created to make every feature count for the benefit of our students. It's an investment in our students and in our future, and it will pay off. Getting here today was no easy task. Building a school like this takes artistry, skills, discipline, consistent attention to dollars and to details. Our school board, both past and present, and other elected officials deserve our appreciation for making it possible. Perhaps as important are the many people who lived and breathed this project from its very inception and conception to today, and many of them will continue to play very important roles. I'm talking about our building design committees, our Office of Facility Services, the architectural firm, the builders, as well as our instructional specialists in student learning and accountability, our staff in information technology, and of course, Mrs. Norwood and her administrative team, and the fantastic staff that she has amassed for this school. If you were any part of that group that I just mentioned, would you please stand and be recognized? So in closing, I wish you the best, Mrs. Norwood, and your great team. And I'm honored now to turn the podium over to the school board chairman, Mr. Ryan Sawyers.
Thank you, Dr. Waltz. On behalf of the entire school board, I welcome Kyle's family, officials, friends, and neighbors, and students and families and staff to this ceremony. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson and others in Kyle's family, I know this is a very special event for you. It's also meaningful to the school board. The member of the school board felt privileged to have the opportunity to name this school after your son, who graduated from Hilton High School. Construction began on this building on September 29th, 2015, less than 1 year ago. As you look at this beautiful building, it's easy to imagine how much the students and staff are going to love it. As Dr. Waltz mentioned earlier, the school came in on time and within budget. I know Chairman Stewart, you're happy to hear that as well, and as am I. And then we'll continue the tradition of excellence in providing a world-class education for all students here. This was the first school that I got to vote on as school board chairman, and it meant the world to me, as I expressed during that vote, that my father-in-law, who was also a firefighter in Fairfax County, who reached battalion chief status and gave his entire working life to the fire department in Fairfax County. I understand to a certain degree the sacrifice that he and his family, my wife, they went through every day wondering what could happen on a call. We lost my father-in-law in 2009 outside of the fire department, but we have his filthy, dirty fire department helmets. We have some of his badges, his different clothes that have made it through the times and the moves. We cherish them. We teach my children about the sacrifice and community service that firefighters provide across the country and here within Prince William County. It's a bittersweet moment for a family like yours, and I understand that you would give away this school name for one more day with your son and your brother. But at the same time, we get to celebrate an amazing life, an amazing person. And it doesn't hurt for me that he also loved the game of baseball. So that's always a nice little touch for my side of things. Ms. Norwood, Chief McGee, Bob, Sue. On behalf of Prince William County School Board, I am proud to dedicate Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School to teaching and learning for this and succeeding generations. I would like, if you don't mind, I know this isn't in the script and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but if you don't mind, if you would stand and look at only a piece of the legacy that your son has created here in this room, because it is amazing, and he is a wonderful person, and he is going to touch thousands upon thousands of people. Thank you.
At this time, I invite Mr. Deutsch, School Board Member for the Coles District, to the podium for brief remarks. Mr. Deutsch.
Good evening. Today we're gathered to celebrate the opening of Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School. While I was never honored to be able to meet Kyle through meeting so many of his friends, his family, his neighbors, and the stories they told, I think we all became touched with a part of the legacy of Kyle. As I thought back on Kyle and what we are honored to know about him, and I thought about this day, I was reminded of the words of a very old historian. The old historian Herodotus wrote the famous Greek histories. And after writing about one of the famous battles, he stated, "In peace, sons bury fathers, but in war, fathers bury sons." Another translation says, "In peace, children inter their parents. War violates the natural order and causes parents to inter their children." And today we remember the sacrifice that Kyle made, that while many of us have the honor to live our lives to get married, to raise children, to live into old age. Kyle was a man who believed in his community, who put his life forward, and was willing to sacrifice his life for our community. He was willing to put himself forward, and the very natural order of life was violated. And today we remember that incredible sacrifice. We also remember the sacrifice that every single one of the law enforcement members and of their community are willing to give every moment they walk out of their door. And to Kyle and to his legacy, we say thank you. To our law enforcement, we say thank you for the incredible sacrifice that all of you are willing to make. As we come here to this school, to really begin again anew, as we teach another generation, I am excited really by the vibrancy that I've seen here at this school. I was able to come to a PTO meeting a week ago, and just the collaboration is already happening between parents, staff, the principal here, the teachers, the events they already have planned, the things that parents are doing for the teachers already. There is a vibrancy as this community is coming together here at this building, and it's exciting. And we get to look forward to the future. We get to see kids who are just growing up start their education here, and it's going to be an exciting time. So as we remember the incredible sacrifice of Kyle, we get to look forward to the future where hopefully young kids are inspired by their heroes, their firefighters, their policemen, and they're reminded of the importance of sacrificing for others, something that we so desperately need to be reminded of. And so we get to look forward to the future as we remember the legacy of someone who is so important. And while we're all gathered here today, people aren't going to remember what we say for very long. But hopefully this community here can be a living reminder of the importance of self-sacrifice, of putting community first, and of Kyle's legacy and all that he did. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Deutsch. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable L. Scott Lingenfelter for a few words.
Well, I'm reminded of the old saying to politicians, "He who is brief shall be reelected." This is a great community. I want to say to Principal Norwood, congratulations to you. You have got to be one proud lady tonight. I know you are. Should give her a big round of applause. To the Wilson family, we are so blessed that Kyle blessed this world. Kelly, I want to say to you, and every family needs a champion. Thank you, Kelly, for leading the fight to get this work done. To our excellent superintendent, whose two most favorite words are snow day. I don't know that you know, but Steve, stand up for a second. This guy taught 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and for that he needs a round of applause. Chief McGee, I'm so glad you're here tonight with all of your team. And just in case you missed it, I can't get enough of this. If you're a first responder, please stand up again. You deserve our affection, our love, and our support. Please stand up. If you're a first responder, stand up. Because you stand up for us. We can stand. Thank you so much. I'm going to take a slightly different route to my chair, which was only shortly away from here. What's education about? Well, I think it's about helping kids be as successful as they can be as early in their life as they can be. That's what it's about. And make no mistake about it, the key to good education are engaged parents and good teachers. And if you're a teacher in Wilson, please stand up right now. Are there any kindergarten teachers over there by chance? Would the kindergarten teacher please stand up? My wife was a kindergarten teacher, and if she hears that I had the teacher stand up and not give honorable mention to kindergarten, I can't get back in the house. I'm telling you right now. If you're a parent of a child who's going to be in Wilson, please stand up. Okay, let me wrap this up. It's ready to turn into a cheerleading session here, but okay, teachers and parents, you are in a great partnership. You are vital to the success of the kids that will come through this great school. You are very fortunate that the namesake of this great school was a man of honor and courage and who loved children. And that ought to be what inspires you as you teach these kids, because, I'm going to use a big word here, we're in the transcendent business of handing down good to our youth so that they can carry it forward. That's what we are. We're a transcendent society of freedom, of virtue, and faith. They all work together. And they have to be handed down. But teachers can't do it alone, and parents can't do it alone either. We need to work together to help this next generation be truly the greatest that the nation has ever seen. Let it begin here in Wilson Elementary.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Chairman Stewart. I'm sorry, the Chairman of Prince William County Board of County Supervisors, Chairman Stewart.
All right, thanks a lot.
I gave you all the time.
Yeah. Well, good evening, Prince William County. Good evening. Are you ready to open the 100th school in Prince William County? This is a great evening. Now, just last night, by the way, we opened up Charles E. Colgan High School, not too far from here, by the way. A lot of the students from here will be going to that. What a beautiful building that is, and what a phenomenal building that this one is. You know, Prince William County, anyone know out there what year it was founded? 1731. Marty knows everything over here. Marty knows everything. Just ask him. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, Marty. 1731. But in a very meaningful way, Prince William County is really still in its infancy. We didn't begin to grow until the 1970s, and we've grown substantially. In 2000, we had a population of 280,000 residents. Today, we have 453,000 residents in Prince William County, and they keep coming. Why? Because Prince William County is on the move. This is a great community. We are growing all the time. We've got one of the best educational systems in the United States of America. And last year, because of our first responders, and we measure this in many different ways, but perhaps the easiest way is this. Last year, Prince William County reached an all-time low ever in its crime rate in 2015. But all this goodness, and by the way, we are increasing our prosperity faster than any other locality in the Commonwealth of Virginia. In fact, faster than any other locality in the D.C. metropolitan area. We are one of the most prosperous, fastest growing communities in the United States. And all of that is just a prelude about what is to come. If you want to know where society is going, if you want to know what greatness lies before, you look to the children of that community. We have 90,000 children in Prince William County schools, one of the best school systems in the United States. Children who are the children of some of the most prosperous, educated, successful people in America. What does that say about our future? It says greatness, greatness, and we've already created it. Kyle Wilson was homegrown. He is the product of Prince William County, and he was great. He just completely embodied one of the greatest of all virtues, the virtues of courage. And there could not be a better person to signify and to symbolize this school than your son. I was struck by, it's just perfect, the firefighter within. And I think Kyle embodied that. Never give up, never give in, fight till you lose, or fight till you win, but never, ever give up. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chairman Stewart. And now please welcome Supervisor Marty Noe, representing the Coles District.
What a glorious day to be in Prince William County. Do you agree with me on this? What a wonderful day this is. And what an extraordinary school we get to be in. I have to say, I look at the Wilson family. I wish we didn't find ourselves in the position where we wanted to name something after Kyle. But if he's going to have something named in his honor, I cannot think of something better than this unbelievably beautiful, high-tech, state-of-the-art place where for generations, Prince William County children will get their education and build their memories and build the relationships that'll last them the rest of their lives. And I just think we have to just thank all of you in the room today who made this possible. This school didn't happen because the school board said we wanted a school. They played a role. It didn't happen because the Board of Supervisors approved a budget. We played a role. It didn't happen because a school nearby had a principal that said we got an overcrowded school, we need another school nearby. That played a role. But the point is everyone gave a little bit. I talked about this last night at the Colgan High School opening. And this is for you young people, I want you to understand this. No one can do everything. There's no such thing as Superman walking among us. No one can do everything. But everyone can do something. And that is what Kyle and all of our public safety officers in this community understand, is we all give what we can to make it great. And there's some people I want to acknowledge. Is anyone from the Ferlazzo family here? Are they here? I see them or not. I got to introduce these ladies. When did your family own this land? I can't hear you. Just got to yell. For 40 years, the Ferlazzo family owned this land, and the patriarch of the family, Dr. Ferlazzo, was on the Board of Supervisors. And when the family decided it was time to sell this land and move on in their lives of owning this land, they came to my office. And this is a family who had given a lot to this community over the years. They came to my office and they said, we are going to sell this land, we're going to allow someone to build some houses on it, but we're not going to cover this land in houses. We want to give this land, part of this land, back to the community that we're so proud to be part of. This school wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the Ferlazzo family. I want to thank them for that. And I thank you for coming tonight. And I'll share with you. And you know what my answer was? I said, that's great. I'm so glad you want to give back to this community. You know, we got a soccer park next door. We could use this land to build more soccer fields. We need more soccer fields. And then I got a call from Pastor Mike Edwards of Heritage Baptist Church right next door here. And he called me up, and we were a little testy with each other that day on the phone, if I recall, both of us. I think and he said to me, Marty, we don't need more soccer fields here. We need an elementary school here, because elementary schools are what build communities. In my church and in the neighborhoods around it, we're trying to build community, and what we need in this space is an elementary school. And he didn't have to make that call, and he didn't have to care what was built here, but it was important to the neighbors of this area that we build a school here. And then I got a call from Pat Sowers, who is the HOA president of Winding Creek neighborhood around the corner. And he said, hey, I hear you're going to build houses there. Let me get involved, because I want to make sure we get that school and that we're giving back to the community around us. And none of them had to do that. And I look and I see some people, some familiar, I got to tell you, next week is the 40th anniversary of when I started first grade, okay? And that's important tonight, because I'm looking at the woman who, it's also the 40th anniversary of when one of my favorite people in the world, Betty Covington, became the principal at my elementary school, Kilby Elementary, where both Patrick and I went. And we went around and around. It's been a long time getting the school built. Betty called me up and she said, we got to fight to get this school built in this year's budget. And she didn't have to make that call, but she played her role. She gave what she could give to this. And frankly, I'm looking, I got to point out something. I'm seeing my friend Rick Janest, who I haven't seen in a long time. Another hometown boy from Prince William County, who is giving back to the community. He's a firefighter who's come, he's actually in Arlington, right? But come back to Prince William tonight to honor Kyle Wilson and honor the community that gave us both so much in this Prince William County school system. And this is the point. Everybody in this room, yes, us politicians, certainly, and certainly all the people from the school division played their role, but every one of us in this community have played a role in making this community great. So to all you parents out there and all of you neighbors out there, thank you for making this your home. Thank you for telling us you wanted this school built. And thank you for making all of this possible. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Noe. When our school board chose to name the school after Kyle Wilson, I reached out to the Department of Fire and Rescue to let them know that I welcome every opportunity for members of the department to be involved in our school. I look forward to building a strong partnership. It is my honor at this time to invite Fire Chief Kevin McGee to the podium for brief remarks.
Chairman Sawyers and members of the school board, I know that I speak for every member of the department. Thank you for naming your new school in honor of Firefighter Technician 1. There's no better public servant, no better citizen, no better athlete, no better student to carry the name of your school than Kyle R. Wilson. I know that as soon as I saw the school and Kyle's name up on the building, I had goosebumps. Walking through the school and seeing the displays and this beautiful facility, and being here with you all, those goosebumps are still here. And I know that there's many members here in uniform that feel that same level of pride that I do. I'm confident that every student who attends this beautiful school will, in their own way, emulate the magnificent qualities Kyle demonstrated so consistently. Kyle was a beloved member of the Department of Fire and Rescue who made the ultimate sacrifice in service, assuring the safety and security of a family on Marsh Overlook Drive. Kyle Wilson did so much in his life, a life that ended far too early. Kyle did countless acts of service, kindness, and love for his family, his friends, his fire and rescue department, and our society, including the youth of Prince William County. And we're all so grateful that we had Kyle in our lives. In his tragic passing, Kyle brought an amazing number of us together for the good of all. Kyle brought his entire family so close to my department that we're forever linked as family. Kyle brought our community together in a special way too. And I have to share one example with you. Each year, citizens and firefighters from across our region do a 5K walk for fitness, and then later in the year, a golf tournament to raise money for the George Mason University Scholarship in Kyle's name. Many of your faculty, parents, and students, led by Principal Norwood, walked in the most recent Kyle Wilson Walk for Fitness. And it was very special to see you there with your Kyle Wilson t-shirts. Kyle Wilson brought firefighters throughout our country together. Kyle's without exception the most well-known firefighter in the United States. No other firefighter has ever, in the history of our country, had as much impact on the National Fire Service. Beyond the incredible and fundamental changes Kyle influenced in my department, major improvements in firefighting safety has happened for firefighters throughout the United States, from Alaska to Florida, and from Hawaii to Maine, each being attributable to firefighter Kyle Wilson. And as I travel around the country, firefighters and fire chiefs tell me about the many changes that they've made because of Kyle. Kyle is frequently cited as at conference seminars and in professional fire journal articles. Because of Kyle, there's been great improvements in personal protective equipment and other mission-critical tools that every single firefighter in our country, and even well beyond our borders, depend on with their life. Technician 1 Kyle Wilson continues to save the lives of others. Now Kyle brings this school, the Wilson family, and the Department of Fire and Rescue together. Today, and just earlier today, around 5 o'clock, my department adopted the faculty, staff, and students of the Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School into the Department of Fire and Rescue family. If the saying, "it takes a village to raise a child," is true, this village has just gotten much, much larger. And as we sealed that adoption, you've seen the newly issued DFR ball cap that I gave to the principal just before the ceremony. And it looks great. Kyle R. Wilson may have been best known simply as Wilson. My son, Dan, was Kyle's friend and a fellow member of his recruit class. And it seemed like any time that my wife, Eileen, and I asked where Dan was going, his answer was, "I'm going to Wilson's." In recruit school, every recruit has a nickname. Kyle's nickname was Wilson. But not Wilson, his last name. Have you seen the Tom Hanks movie that's called Castaway? Well, Kyle was Wilson the volleyball. There he is right there. Wilson was the main character's companion for the years that he was stranded on an uninhabited desert island. And Tom Hanks' character wouldn't have survived the isolation and the loneliness if it wasn't for his volleyball that he called Wilson. When Kyle's instructors wanted his attention, they'd yell at him just like Tom Hanks did in the movie. "Wilson!" Let me show you Wilson the volleyball. And we'll try to get it up here so everybody can see it. Wilson is now in a permanent place of honor at the Public Safety Training Center. Whenever anyone asks our students, "What school do you go to?" we in the Fire and Rescue Department will be honored when you proudly say, I go to Wilson. Thank you for allowing my department to be part of today's dedication to the Wilson Elementary School.
Thank you for sharing that tribute to Kyle, Chief McGee. And now I invite Ms. Kelly Gray, sister of Kyle Wilson, to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. The amount of support and excitement for my brother's school has been truly, truly overwhelming. So thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for making Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School possible. It is with your efforts in this school that Kyle's memory and legacy is still so much alive in the hearts of so many. As Kyle's family, we are so incredibly excited for the fresh young faces who enter Wilson Elementary to learn about Kyle and to strive to emulate his qualities. It is so very important in today's world that our youth learn to utilize kindness, compassion, hard work, commitment, and even humor to make our world a better place. And while it is important for these students to understand these qualities that Kyle embodied, it is equally as important for them to know that Kyle was once just like them. He was a Prince William County student who grew into a smart and dedicated young man with a goal. It is important for these students to know, just as Kyle knew, that anything and everything is possible when you put your heart and mind to it. So again, as Kyle's family, we cannot thank you all enough for making this school possible. We are thankful for the teachers and the staff who have joined Kyle's team and who will work to enrich the minds of young students who will walk through those doors. We are excited to watch these students grow into hardworking, selfless, and kind individuals, just as Kyle was. But most importantly, we are looking forward to continuing Kyle's legacy and making wonderful memories here at Kyle Wilson Elementary. While Kyle was never one for personal recognition, I can assure you he is smiling down on us right now. We are Wilson. Go Sea Lions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. We will cherish your thoughts and kind words, and our students and staff will carry on the ideals of respect and service which reflect Kyle's life. I am grateful to our community, students, school staff, construction, and facility staff, and parents for all their continued support. I have to give a special thank you to these wonderful students over here who sat so patiently on bleachers, on the risers, this entire time. They're excellent Kyle Wilson students. Their parents and those who have volunteered to help with today's event. Many interrupted their summer plans to do so. I feel so privileged to be standing here. But more than that, I am so fortunate to have the greatest team of teachers and support staff. We all believe that every child can succeed here at Kyle Wilson. We are all about building a culture with a staff that works collaboratively. We have a passion for supporting the needs of every child. We know that every day we can change a life with one kind word at the right moment. This night was hard work and a loving thing for all who helped put everything together. They know who they are. I thank them and all our wonderful staff. I feel fortunate to be working with such talented and dedicated, relentless people. I also wish to thank my loving family for their enthusiastic support. And finally, I wish to thank the school board, Dr. Waltz, and the superintendent staff for their guidance and commitment to ensuring that Kyle R. Wilson Elementary School would open as a world-class school that is committed to the success and integrity of every student.